Hey, I'm Nick.
And I'm Trisha, and we are regular people talking about mental health.
You ever wondered what it's like to ride in an El Camino?
All right. So my thought was we would do like a mini on the road podcast attempt and see how this works on the fly.
Oh, that's what's happening.
Yep, I didn't want to tell you until we were in the car. So that's what's happening.
Okay.
So we just got in the car, and I just sprung this on Trisha. We're going to do a podcast in the car. Kind of. We're going to see. I don't even know. This audio might sound terrible when we listen back. So it might not happen. Is the window broken?
Yeah, I don't know how to...
You can roll it down a little bit and then push it out. Just a hair, just like... And then push it back up. See if that helped. There we go.
That did help. I don't get
There we go.
little airflow thing going on.
So yeah, we are riding in my 1984 Chevrolet El Camino, and it's a little temperamental. The windows are a little temperamental. The everything about it is a little temperamental. And I've been wanting to try this out. I'm using my GoPro and my wireless mic system that I use for all my YouTube videos, thinking we could try this to see how it works. I don't even know, like I said, if we're going to go to hear us.
This is a great trial run. I know I'm hearing the car though, and I'm going, is there any way that they will be able to hear over that?
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to hear it. This might all just be trash, but we'll find out.
How do you test it? Should we like pull over and see if it's even doing
I could
anything
test
before
it.
we get like real deep with this stuff?
Yeah. Let's test it. Open this back up. Stop the video. Alright. This is so cool.
So it works. Upon checking the footage and the audio seems to be working fine.
Yeah.
So here we are in the El Camino.
Yeah, this is going to be cool.
Our first remote podcast.
I don't know where we're going. Do you know where you want to go?
I mean, I'd love to factor ice cream into the trip if you're down for it.
Yeah,
So.
that's what I was kind of thinking. I don't know where we're going to go do that. Oh, we're following like a really old like Ford Model T or something.
Wow, it's like a car show. That is really cool.
Yeah. So, anyway, so today's podcast, we are going to talk about...
What? Do you have a topic too?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
We can talk about ice cream. We can talk about... I'm not sure what. I think we should talk about...
We could talk about how scared I am to be on camera.
Yeah, we could talk about that. Fear of cameras. This guy's all over the road in front of us. This is kind of interesting, being on the road and doing this.
I don't think there's power steering in those.
Probably not.
That's really cool. I wish that we could show you this, but I don't think I've seen one quite like that.
I mean, I can. We'll just do this. Oh yeah. Chicka chicka yeah. Cha Joe yeah. That's the car we're following, if you can see that guy.
Isn't it rad? I can't even tell what color it is. It's like a midnight blue.
Oh, he's using his hand to turn signal. That's so cool. See that? See his hand sticking out of the car? His brake lights are just white lights. They're just lights.
Wow, that's so rad.
That's so cool. Oh, we're not going to follow him because that's crazy. Alright. There we go. We're back. So
I think this sting operation that you have decided to spring on me is probably the best way to go about this.
Yeah?
Maybe.
Nice.
Maybe.
Nice.
I am terrified of watching the footage, but at the same time, I think
Well, what's
it
cool
will
is
be
we don't have to
necessary.
use the footage. We can just do podcast.
That's true. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. So this might not even be footage. This might just be podcast. And we can edit it in my footage software and then take out what we don't want.
Okay.
So, yeah. So
yeah, I definitely don't usually deal well with surprises, for one. And I definitely have been very nervous about doing any sort of video footage, but we've been talking about it more and more. Nick would just love to just, like we're doing right now, just jump right in and just do it.
yeah, I would.
I wish that I didn't have such a complex over it. I've done one FaceTime live in my life, and that was just really strange. And it was really quick, and it was because of the Tony Robbins challenge that we did a little while back there.
Oh, right.
It was really uncomfortable for me. So, I really think it's important that we start doing this, though, mostly because it's like such a visual era that we live in. People want to see YouTube videos. They want to see people talking, or just see what's going on. It's not all about listening and doing the podcast thing. I realize that podcasts are probably listened to a lot less with people traveling less. Because podcasts are great when you've got to commute, but so many people are even working from home now and not even commuting, so they have more time to get sidetracked from the job they're supposed to be doing and scroll on the internet for something fun to watch. So
Right. Yeah. This is fun.
is it fun?
I don't know.
I'm realizing how much right now. I mean, it's kind of fun. I zone out in the car, though. I'm not usually like, hey, let's talk every second of the trip.
I know.
I'm usually just like, oh, wow, look at that field.
Look at that thing. Look at that lake. We just saw a beautiful view in front of us, too.
That's a really crazy view.
I'm going to have to end up getting GoPro makes a camera that shoots 360 degrees. And I think I might have to get that camera so that I can do those things. Because that'll be pretty cool.
That would be cool, because we're just constantly going to be like, oh, wow, look at that over there. Oh. Sorry, guys, we just saw the most awesome thing, but you can't see it.
I gotta let this guy pass me. And I'm going to check the camera settings.
Alrighty.
Because I think I don't have... Okay, so I let that guy pass me, and I changed the setting, so maybe now the video footage probably isn't as shaky, because I just put the boost on. I forgot about that. Because I'm not usually doing videos in motion, so I don't need the boost on. So, anyway, back to whatever we were talking about, which wasn't really much.
No, it wasn't much. Usually what we do before the show is have some sort of conversation about what the topic might be, or if we're not going to have a topic, or usually there's some sort of like conversation before we actually hit record. Oftentimes it happens like earlier in the day. Sometimes it happens an hour before. But right now I feel like we're trying to figure it out.
Well,
on the spot.
Yeah, there is something I do want to talk about.
You do? Okay.
So maybe this could be our topic, or one of the things we talk about anyway, is we started this Facebook group, and I don't remember if we talked about it last week, but we started this Facebook group for the podcast, and this morning we hit 300 followers, or...
Well, 300 people are members of the group. Yeah.
300 group members, which is pretty cool. So if you're a member of the group, thank you very much.
Thank you, and welcome. I'm so excited to have this thing coming together.
Yeah.
It was this whole journey so far has been really awesome, and I just feel like it's, I can't quite see where we are headed, but I just feel like I'm pretty much on the right path anyways, and I know it's kind of messy right now. We don't have the kinks worked out. We're figuring it out, but there's already been like these really sort of raw moments that are happening even within the group, in this Facebook group, that I don't know. I find them so beautiful and so powerful, and I really struggle for words to even describe how cool I think it is that people are opening up. I think it's really interesting too, and I've mentioned this to you. I have been for a very long time somebody that doesn't really engage in Facebook all that much. So, or social media, but I would get on there and sort of see what people are doing, what people are talking about, or whatever. But I really wasn't participating. That just wasn't what I was doing. And now I am trying it on, and I'm trying to participate more. And it feels weird. It does feel like I have a mission though with this, or it feels like there's a little bit more of a purpose. So
versus just the normal Facebook BS, whatever. Oh, there's a cute dog in the middle of the people behind us.
Oh, I don't see it. I don't want to turn around and look. These seatbelts don't have the same give, or maybe a little bit too much give.
But I've noticed that you're very wicked excited and grateful, and all this positive energy has been coming out of you from this Facebook group.
It is energizing, definitely.
It's really cool to have this little platform. We've been doing it on the podcast and feeling very vulnerable and open to everybody, and just putting it out there, and people reach out to us all the time, and they're just blown away by how raw and honest we are. And now to have this Facebook group and have our friends kind of what's the word?
They're engaging with
us. Something like that.
Or with each other, just putting themselves out there, and
it's just so cool. And it's exactly why we started this podcast. It's exactly why we started this Facebook group. It's exactly why we do what we do, because we feel like there's this huge stigma, and it's just so hard to talk about this stuff. A lot of us are just not brought up in a way that it's normalized, and
I think it's such a pain point for all of us. I mean, I'm guessing all of us. Maybe I'm overgeneralizing, but I feel like most people that I've encountered have some sort of baggage that they bring to the table. I mean, we've all had people talk down to us, or had some sort of negative experience, or have been in pain and have been affected mentally by all this stuff that we go through, and it just doesn't feel like there's those outlets sort of naturally built into the family unit or the school structure. I mean, I think it's come a long ways probably since our parents were younger and generations before, but I feel the pain points. I feel almost like we had to talk about it, because we talk about it with each other, how we want to see changes, and it's we kind of can't do it alone though. It's I really would love it if everybody could talk openly. I'm struggling with it.
To talk openly?
Yeah.
Outside of our thing.
Outside of our thing, even inside of the thing. I mean,
Right. It's still a Facebook group. It's still, there's some level of publicness to it,
There is, and I feel like I've got to really carefully choose my words. But sometimes, and for most of my life, carefully choosing my words has kept me from saying anything, because I'm just so afraid that I'm going to upset somebody, and or that something that I say is going to come out wrong, or and a lot of stuff that I say, I feel like can come out very wrong.
It does.
It does. The stuff I say comes out very wrong. Oh my gosh, it's been so cool too to see the stuff that Nick has been putting out. It's been cool to see him doing the YouTube stuff.
That's a beautiful trailer for sale right there. Sorry.
A beautiful trailer.
Yeah.
I don't hear those words all that often.
An enclosed trailer for construction equipment.
Wow,
Beautiful.
I missed it. Didn't catch my eye.
It was nice. Sorry.
Nice.
You were saying that you say the wrong thing and stuff?
No, I was moving on to how cool it is, and I can't believe I remembered that you seem to have such a way with words where, I don't know, you're just naturally cooler than I am.
I don't know about that. You're only saying that because I'm driving an El Camino.
Well, I mean, it does help paint the picture.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm finding that, like, when I'm trying to contribute on the Facebook groups, I just can't articulate it. I can't figure out how to put the stuff into words. I mean, it's like, I feel like all these words are just sort of floating around in my head, not as words, but as, like, concepts or ideas, and to really put the words to them I struggle with it. So, I know, and I really struggle with being concise. Definitely not my strong suit, as I'm sure anybody that's heard the podcast before has experienced. And I think it would be valuable at times if I could just sort of get to the point, be concise, say some really impactful things. But if I'm going to get there and get it to the concise bits, it takes me a while. So in some ways that's good on the Facebook group, because I have the time to think about it, and maybe I will be able to boil it down to something a little bit shorter. But you just come out with this stuff that's like, it's funny and it's touching and
it's impulsive.
It's impulsive. I'm so envious. It's so great. I'm like envious and so also pleased and happy and excited that you are that person that's able to say it and are that person that has those feelings.
A lot of the posts that I do on Facebook, maybe not a lot. Okay, like 50-50. A lot of them are very impulsive. I just diarrhea something, or I have an idea and I just like splurt it out, and I don't think about it before I do it, and then it can go both ways. Sometimes it can fall flat, but some of these times when I've done that and I've just really put myself out there and like hit that button to post it, and then been like, oh my God, what did I just do?
What did I do? Yeah.
And those are some of those posts that, like, I get some really amazing messages, like direct messages, or people text me personally, and it lets me know that me putting myself out on a limb like that is not totally crazy. And if I'm doing that and it's helping one person, and it's been helping definitely more than one person, then it's worth it, and it's not like I don't think that it's hurting my career. In fact, the clients that I work for that are friends with me on Facebook have seen some of these posts and my videos and what I'm talking about and all the things that I'm doing and this podcast and all this stuff, and they think it's great that I'm doing all this. Like, they seem so supportive of it. They're not like, what's wrong with you or whatever. So it's cool how it's all playing out,
It is super
It's really
cool.
neat.
I love that you're being that real and putting yourself out there, and I think that's important to say that, you put this stuff out there, you feel impulsive about it, you might feel after you've done it that, like, oh my gosh, what did I do? And yet there's these people reaching out to you saying that it was awesome. And I know I have encountered that myself. I've done the same thing where I feel like I put this stuff out there and be like, oh, what did I, why did I say that? And then exactly, so, I find out that it has helped somebody. And then I see these posts of the people who have been kind of speaking up within the group so far, and I read them and I think, like, wow, this is moving me, this is heavy, I think this is so awesome. And I also realize that it's probably not easy for any of them to say these things that are being said, and maybe it is, but I know that it would be hard for me to say it, and this stuff is hard for me to say, and then I beat myself up after I say it, like, ugh, why did I do that? Why? And all I know is that the stuff that I've read so far, I have been like, I feel like it's all been really worth it for everybody that's shared. Like, I have gotten something out of all of it so far.
Yeah. And I had a friend of mine who I talked to, and he joined the group, and then was like, "This is too depressing." He actually told me he had to leave, and I was like, "That's okay. Like, I'm not offended by that. You know, you don't know until you try." And I hope that people aren't just like hanging out in the group and sticking with it for no reason. And
oh yeah, I definitely don't want to be like the thing that they're so annoyed with, like popping up on their feed. I mean, you guys,
you can leave a Facebook group. It's like just as easy to leave it as it is to join it. You just click the same button, and then you're like not in it anymore.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. I was saying, I don't know how to do it, and if anybody wants help on unsubscribing or unjoining, just let us know. I'd be happy to help you. It's totally okay. We're here when you need us. At least that's what I'm hoping, is that, you know, when somebody needs it or wants it, and I'm hoping that, you know, the group isn't just all like downer stuff. I mean, really,
I don't think it is.
I don't either.
I mean, so far I really don't think it is. There's some like heavy stuff being talked about, but following that heavy stuff is like this incredible wave of support, and it's
so unifying.
It's just so great.
It's so relatable. You can see the human in everybody, and that is, to see everybody like being real and supportive of each other is super cool. But I guess one of the points I was gonna make was that it's probably always going to be uncomfortable to share. I guess I'm trying to speak out to the people out there that are listening and that are part of the Facebook group, that I totally get it if you don't want to share. I totally get it if you don't want to like anything. I totally get it if that's all you want to do is like something here and there.
Well, you said something the other day about the people that aren't saying anything, or a lot of them are the people that we're actually probably really trying to reach.
Or that it very well could be helping. I guess, and I would like to share my story with them, and that's where I want them to know that I have been silent and quiet and not sharing my voice plenty, and that's totally okay. That and it's scary for me to like start speaking up though, and I guess I just want people to know that if it looks like this is coming super easy to me, it's not, and it could always feel a little bit uncomfortable, but like that silver lining of these moments where it all comes together and you find out that you did say something that really resonated with someone, it makes it totally worth it, and it is just so therapeutic to be able to get it out there and to feel free, to feel that freedom of being able to be yourself.
Yeah.
I would love that if everyone could feel free to be themselves and not have to worry about being judged all the time, because I know that's constantly something that is in my head.
Totally.
I mean, I try not to judge other people. I definitely try not to. But I know that we've all had experiences that just play into how we perceive new experiences and new interactions with people. And unfortunately, there's all that baggage that just sometimes can cloud our vision of what we are experiencing right then with who we are with right then. There's all that stuff from before that gets carried over into the present experience. And that judgment doesn't do any of us any good.
It doesn't. But
this is interesting.
What?
This is interesting because if we really do put the footage out to everybody, they get to see how I am while we're recording. And it's just, I just feel like such a...
Yeah. Well, what's going to happen first is we'll watch it, and then we'll see if we're ever going to put this out. I don't know. This might not even release to anybody. I don't know.
I know. I
think it will, but I don't know that it will. I might get home and listen to it on the computer, and
if we can't hear the words that are coming out of our mouth. Because right now, just sitting here, I have a hard time hearing you over the sound of the car. The car's got this real robust sound. When we pulled over to do that little test to see how we were sounding, it was amazing that you couldn't hear the car.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we're wearing lav mics, and they're very directional.
Yeah, that's great.
So they don't pick up a lot of... That's the whole point of them, is they're not supposed to pick up a lot of outside noise.
Which is awesome. Technology is so cool. I'm so glad that you understand it, because I do not.
Yeah.
And none of this would be possible without all of your technology.
I've been having so much fun researching and learning about all of this stuff. I mean, I've been a musician for my whole life, basically, and I've never known anything really about gear and microphones or any of that stuff. But last year, when I started my YouTube channel, I was using my phone, and I was like, I can't just use the mic on this thing. So I bought a lav mic that plugged into my phone, and that's how I got started with YouTube. And then it was like, okay, I'm gonna upgrade, and I bought a little mini shotgun mic that mounted to a little holder that I bought for this, and I kept like upgrading. And then I bought this wireless system that we're using, and then it broke, so I bought another one, and then I was able to pair the non-broken part with the new one, which is what we're using now. This is actually the first time that I've used this system.
Oh, really?
This is the first time. I mean, I tried it. I did a test to make sure it worked. But this is the first time that I've actually done a recording. Why would I I need two mics? I've never done anything
That's
with
right. You haven't had like a guest before.
Yeah.
Now I'm the second.
So I've been super pumped since we started the podcast and wanted to buy this. And then when the system broke, I was like, oh my God, I get to buy the other one and then pair it. And then we can do podcasts on the road. Like, this has been in my head for weeks since this thing broke. And this is the first time I've got to test it out. So
you were sitting on all this information.
Yeah.
And I had no idea.
Look at this cool car.
Wow, that is cool.
It's a cool car. It had an SS on the front. It's a Chevy. Anyway, yeah. So this is fun for me. It's funny too because like it not being a podcast with a topic per se. It's like you never know. People aren't going to search for this. Maybe if we named it something and it had like a whatever we actually end up talking about, but this is kind of like one of those podcasts that I think is for the people who are followers and they are interested in what we have to say and following our journey. And I mean, that's like what's going on with my YouTube channel. I started a second YouTube channel all dedicated to improving my life, and it was right around the same time this podcast started, and it's like I do meditation videos, and what did I release today? What was the one I just did?
About your neck.
My neck.
Neck exercises.
Because my neck is all messed up, so I'm doing some neck and some back physical therapy exercises and sharing them with people, and I've just really decided in the last few months since COVID hit that I want to focus my life and my time on helping other people. I've always wanted to do that, and I've done that through construction, but it's not the same as this sharing my life experiences that can help other people with theirs. It's a different kind of helping people, and it hits a different, really deep part of me that construction doesn't even come close to touching.
Yeah.
And some people are going to get it and love it and want to listen, and some people aren't, and I'm okay with that. I'm doing this mostly for fun,
Yeah, it's very rewarding on a lot of levels. Like, it is fun. It also, I don't know, it feels like a way for me to be authentic, and I so badly want to be authentic, and I feel like there's been so many things that have sort of stood in my way and blocked me that it hasn't been enough to just say I want to be authentic. Like, I really have to like actively try and pursue discovering who I am, and then once I know who I am, like how I can actually interact with the world outside of who I am. And to be able to have that message to other people. I just want I would love to inspire other people to be able to be that free. And I'd love for this to be like you're our friend, like you're listening because you're listening to your friends talk, and you know,
and most of the people are probably actually our
you guys. I know you guys are our friends. Yes, this is very true. But even if we don't know you personally, I mean, I know that the podcast that I listen to, I do sort of develop I don't know, I feel like I connect with them. Like if it resonates with me, what they're saying, I feel like they're my friend in a way. So I hope that, you know, that's part of what it's like listening to us. It's not, I don't know, I know I come across as being preachy. I'm not easy to be friends with. So that's probably counting against us.
You're not easy to be friends with?
I don't know. I'm easy to have like shorter conversations with, or no, maybe that's not the right thing. I'm cordial, and I really do like people. I'm just very awkward with that middle stage. Like there's that I can be friendly with like people I'm just meeting and new acquaintances, and you know, but that middle ground between us just meeting and being acquaintances, and then us like developing like a deep friendship, I'm just not good at it. I just am not good at it. So like the friends that are like my really good friends, I've been friends with them for like ever, and if I don't keep up with them all the time, I do feel bad about it in a way, but I also always know that, you know, it doesn't matter if we're not talking all the time or anything. We're still, you know, we're still great friends. It doesn't change like how amazing I think of a person that they are, and all the, you know, history that we've had. I'd love to be able to like form new relationships like that, but it's hard, you know, not when you put yourself out there. And for so long, I have been putting myself out there, you know, to the best of my ability of being authentic, but I still always feel like there's been this level of having to fake it.
Right.
And once I got sober, I thought that I was going to be able to like, oh, now I'll be able to be like
now
my real self. Yeah, like
this is like what we talked about last week with imposter syndrome, and like that was last week.
Yeah,
this whole like faking it thing.
Even
though we're not, like, apparently faking it is who we really are. We're just fake.
I guess.
That sucks. I don't really want to be fake. I'm trying to be as authentic as possible. It's hard because when you're really authentic in yourself, people think you're weird. Not you, me, I should say. When I'm
me too.
authentic in myself. When I was younger and I was figuring out who I was like a weird kid and a skater kid, and I hung out with kids that I thought were like the coolest kids in the world, but like the cool kids probably thought we were a bunch of nerdy dorks and whatever.
And do you think that's because, like, I mean, people are afraid of what they don't know and what they don't understand, and they, you know, it becomes easier to kind of like put people down than to try and understand them, because it's hard to like put in that time to like really get to know people. But ideally that's what this community is like people being able to like put down their guard and be able to be themselves, because they know that everybody else is there trying their best to like be themselves. And you know, we've all got skin in the game, I guess would be the term. You know, it's not even if you are just like, you know, hitting like and not engaging, or if you're just reading the stuff and saying, wow, that resonates with me, or wow, that brought me to tears, and you're not really engaging with us, you still are part of the community, and we still really value you being there. And if you ever do want to like speak up, or if you need help, or if you want to contribute to the conversation, we would love to know what you have to say. Oh, okay. Okay, thanks.
They have clams.
So
we just rolled into Sylvan Beach, New York, which, look it up on a map if you're not familiar with it. I am surprised at how many people are actually here right now. It is probably like, what, 6, 7 o'clock at night? On a Saturday?
But it is holiday weekend.
Oh, it is. It's Labor Day weekend.
Yeah,
and we just passed like the bars that are off the beach, and
yeah, we're basically at the beach.
They're like super crazy busy. And I thought we would just come here. This is a place where you come on the motorcycle. So I drove down here. Look at that freaking ride. Wow.
That's an old one too.
I'm going to show you guys this because that's cool. Let me back this up. You're a big mouth. I don't want you back to town now. Look at that thing right there. Pretty freaking sweet, huh?
Pretty sweet.
I thought he was like, oh, what's that guy doing? Being a weirdo. So yeah, we're down here in Sylvan Beach. We're gonna take a break. We're gonna go get some ice cream. Well, Trisha's gonna get ice cream. I'm gonna see if they have vegan ice cream or sorbet or something, because I don't eat dairy. And
if we can't find vegan ice cream here or some alternative,
there is a place on the way back.
We'll go someplace else. I hate eating ice cream in front of him. I would much rather enjoy the sport together.
Yeah.
Because eating ice cream is kind of a sport to me. I really enjoy it.
Yeah. It is. It's so nice here. I figured we'd park here, walk over, get the ice cream, and then like walk in the beach area.
That would be lovely. I think that's a great idea.
Oh, you have to pay to park here?
I guess. It looks like there's a pay to park
I'm
thing
not
right
doing
there.
that.
This looks like a spot right here though too, like the best spot ever.
Yeah, but it's pay to park. Unless you're handicapped.
Unless you're handicapped, it says it's free. That's interesting. I've never seen that before, or noticed it before.
Huh. All right, we're back. Cool. So we just got our ice cream, and we
oh my gosh, the sunset is amazing.
Yeah,
I just caught a glimpse of that.
We're driving over to the lake. We were just parked a little bit away.
It's so pink and orange and beautiful.
Ah, so good. We're gonna drive over there and watch the sunset next.
It's just so bright.
Can you even tell that the sun is setting?
No, there's all these people on our way right here. Should we get the little bit in the back?
We made it. The sun dropped in like 5 seconds.
Huh?
The sun dropped in like 5 seconds. Alrighty, so that was lovely.
That was lovely. Yeah, we're back in the car.
Is there anything else we wanted to talk about? Mental health and all the things, and yeah, this was really good for our mental health today, I think.
This was really good, very, very much needed. Great idea coming here. Glad you thought of it. While we were walking after we had first gotten out of the car and started exploring a little bit, you had said, we didn't check in. I had thought about it, but we didn't check in. So I think it's a good opportunity to do that. How are you doing?
I'm doing great right now.
Me too. I'm doing great right now.
Earlier, not so much.
Ditto.
There were moments. You had a pretty rough afternoon for a bit there.
I did. I was definitely feeling cooped up, and I'm so indecisive, and I get kind of paralyzed by figuring out what I'm supposed to be doing, that I end up not doing a lot of things, or else I find something I enjoy doing, but I hyper focus so badly that like I just get sucked into it, and then the day passes me by and I might not have even taken a shower yet. And today was one of those days where I kind of got into it and then found myself hyper focused researching desks, looking at a million of desks and thinking that I was going to be able to scratch it off my list like really quick because I was going to find the one that I wanted after a couple Google searches. But it was not that easy, and it was stressing me out. Mostly that it was just taking so long. And then I thought, why did I do this? So, and I really wanted to get out of the house. I get sad when the days get shorter. Like,
that's why there's things called seasonal depression.
I know, and seasonal affective disorder.
Like
I know we're getting into.
I don't know what time it is. It's not even 8 o'clock yet, and it's like dark.
And it gets so much dark. It's just like this is the trajectory that we are on right now. We are headed to the days getting shorter and shorter and shorter, and I just end up getting sadder, more sad. I feel that I don't love watching the sunset because if I think about it, like I'm really sitting there and just watching the sunset, it saddens me because it feels like it's like the end of a day. And I know that night's beginning, and it's not like the 24 hours are over, but I don't know. I like daylight.
I like daylight.
And I don't see enough of it these days while I'm trying to do stuff on the computer. I should probably see about getting the computer outside, but as we've talked about in the past couple days too, knowing is only half of the battle. And I keep trying to spread and share all these messages that I'm learning and all these beliefs that I have and all this good stuff that I've come across that I... Oh, whoa.
License plate.
License plate went flying. But I'm trying to share all this stuff that I'm trying to live by because I just think it's so good. But it's not easy for me to apply. And I just keep trying. I don't want anybody to think that I've got it all figured out, because I don't. And even if I figure it out, I still can't necessarily walk the walk, but I'm trying.
I hear you. As we all are.
That whole ADHD thing that I'm going through, that's like really the bulk of my struggles most days. I mean, we can call it ADHD or we could give it no name, but when I learn about ADHD and so many of the symptoms and things that are involved with it, I relate to it so much, and so I see these things coming up in my days, and I feel the struggles that I'm having, and it just feels like it's all so connected, and I'm tired of it. And I know that you can relate with the fact that we try really hard, and yet the problems just don't go away. They might get better, and there's relief, and there are good times. But there's definitely some of the same struggles that keep coming up, and it can be hard. Which is why we're so passionate about. This is why I'm so passionate about this right now, anyways, because I am hopeful, and I believe that the more work I do towards this, that, you know, I will get better and I'll learn more strategies and it will become easier and hopefully have fewer bad days because of this stuff. Because this stuff, like, I also beat myself up because I feel like this stuff is so stupid. Like, why can't I just do this and why can't I do that? And why does it take me forever to do simple tasks? Like, and I know I should just take the shower first thing so that I feel good all day, but like, why don't I just do it? I don't have the answer for that, and
I've been actually thinking of writing down like a daily itinerary for myself so that I remember to do certain things. But I don't know, then I have to remember to look at the itinerary.
I can't tell you how many hundreds, maybe thousands of itineraries I've written for myself.
Really?
That's not the problem for me. Like, I mean, but then I give myself this false hope, like that I've got this itinerary, so I can do that.
I've got the
but
answer now.
I still have good days and bad days, and
right.
And that would be great if maybe we should challenge ourselves. Maybe you could help me with that. I know you have been really pretty successful, like when you want to do a morning routine, setting it up. I know it's been harder with Gavin and I living there, but we watched a pretty inspiring YouTube video that, I don't know why, this guy was talking about manifestation, and I you know, I've heard about manifestation before and law of attraction, and I totally dig it, and I'm totally on board with it. He was saying some new stuff though that kind of resonated a little bit differently with me this time, and he made it seem like, you know, everybody talks about these, you know, mornings and having your morning routine, and you know that you really set yourself up for the day, and that has been, you know, something that I have been wanting to do forever. And like, I write the itineraries, and I just I spend too much time having fun writing the itineraries that I don't go to bed early enough to wake up and do them. And this guy though, it was something about what he was talking about, I don't know, getting in touch with, like, really just having this spiritual time in the morning, and he was talking about like breathing out of different nostrils, and I've seen yogis do this, but I never really thought much of it. Like, I always thought that was like otherworldly.
Right side.
And then he started talking about we only breathe out of one side of our nostril, and out of one nostril at a time or something. I don't know. I really want to follow up with it and learn more about it, because he made it seem like just a very intriguing concept to incorporate some of that action stuff that really isn't hard, like breathing out of my nose.
Yeah.
Like, maybe if I just took 5 minutes, maybe if we shared 5 minutes of doing something like that, we would be able to set ourselves up good. It's totally dark on the camera.
Almost dark. I'm going to change the settings, so hang on.
Wild.
Yeah. Okay.
So am I supposed to be looking at the camera ever? That just occurred to me. Yeah,
Want to?
I mean, that's not natural for me, so
Yeah.
probably not.
So I just changed the camera. You can actually see us now. It's like dark out. I have this tiny light on the camera so you can see us.
I'm surprised you can drive with the light here, but
Yeah, it's a little bright, but we should probably wrap it up anyway, now that we can see us again.
so this has been fun. I wonder, you know, if we'll release it.
Yeah.
If we do, then thanks for hanging out for the first time I've allowed myself to be videotaped and released into the world.
Yeah.
Videotape, that's not really the word for it anymore, is it?
I guess.
Recording.
It is. Recorded
And if you never see this, you'll never know. But I would like to keep making an effort to do this. It's like one of these things that it's a silly fear, I feel like, of mine.
Right.
Nick laughs at me that, and he's not the only one. When I look in the mirror, like if I'm going to do my makeup, or really if I just ever look at the mirror and look at my face, I make a certain face because I don't know. I guess that's the only way I can stand to look at myself in the mirror or something. Like I don't know any other way to do it, quite honestly. And
you have a subliminal mirror face.
I do. And so I'm actually, convinced myself that I look like that. And so I think it's just that I'm very, sort of alarmed and in denial of the fact that I don't look like that. Like, that's not like how I roll around town. There's a lot of other faces that other people are seeing. So, and I want to embrace that. I really do. I would like to get there. I would like to evolve. Not be ashamed, not feel like I have to put up a front. See, this is like where I know that I shouldn't be doing it. I know that I should just put myself out there. I know this stuff, but I'm scared.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, stop petting me. This guy's a natural. Mr. 1,000 subscribers and monetized on YouTube. I just totally covered up my microphone. This is unnatural for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not natural for me.
It seems like it is.
I just go for it. Once I'm doing it, I'm doing it. But like I said, when I'm doing the videos where I'm in the driveway and the neighbors are outside, 2 houses over, and I can see them and hear them, so they can hear me talking to myself in the driveway, I'm super uncomfortable.
I would be mortified. I'm many steps away from going that far. Definitely.
Yeah. So we'll work on it.
Yeah.
We'll try this again sometime. Maybe sometime when it's not going to turn night.
But that was kind of fun. This is just what I needed.
Yeah.
And so often in the podcast, when we go to record, it is such a toss-up as far as if it is going to make me feel better or worse. Some days I walk away from it, feeling like that was great. I really needed to get that stuff out, and it felt good. And then other days I walk into the show being like, I'm in a great spot. And by the end of the show, I'm like, oh my gosh, what happened? Oh my gosh, I just hate how I do that, how my brain does that, and I beat myself up, or I get super sensitive to something that was said, in our dialogue together. And even if I know that I shouldn't be, and I really wish I was more resilient to it, it still just hits me so hard. So I never know what is going to happen with the podcast. But today, luckily, was a good day. Today, it worked out good.
Even though we're doing it in the car, and it's totally different.
Yeah, it was different. It really engaged a lot of my senses, though. Like I said, I don't usually talk a whole lot in the car.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm almost transporting myself into, podcast mode, as if we're in this office doing a recording like we usually do.
Got it a little different.
Yeah, definitely different.
It'll be fun to listen back. So
I can't wait. I know, who needs Schitt's Creek when you've got us to watch later ourselves. So thanks, Nick. Thanks for a great idea.
You're welcome.
Pulling me out of my slump.
And thank you for watching or listening or whatever this thing ends up being.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Yes.
So cool.
Thank you. We appreciate you all. We love you all.
Yes.
And thanks for joining us on this journey. It's just going to keep on going.
Yeah, for sure.
Come back.
All right.
Bye. Oh, yeah.
Bye. Yeah, I waved. I didn't say bye.
That's so cool that we'll be able to capture you just piecing out.